is my broccoli and cheddar soup recipe. It's absolutely delicious and nutritious. In order to do it, you will need one large pot because this makes a very, very large batch. If you want to like half it, go ahead, but I like to freeze whatever's left for another meal. I use 2 potatoes, russet potatoes, 3 carrots normally, but look how big this one is. So I'm using 2, but 3. 2 medium-sized onions. I use a whole clove of garlic. If you like less, then just use less. Normally I do 2 stalks of celery, but some of these, like a couple of these are really small. So I'm gonna use 4 for this. Like, look how tiny this is. I don't even know if that's half of a normal one. 1 giant head or crown of broccoli. 2 containers of chicken stock, and I use full sodium so I don't have to add as much later. I will put this in. This is going to be your choice to add some garlic, salt or not for flavor, but some garlic I find isn't as flavorful as others, so depending on taste I may use this later. Also the salt I may or may not, it just depends on the taste. Also some pepper. Pepper I'll be putting in for sure. You will need 1 cup of milk. I use 2%. And we will also be using approximately 1 cup to 1.5 cups of water, 4 tablespoons of flour, 2 cups of cheese. Now I use aged cheddar just because it's so flavorful, but use whatever flavor you want. And also more for the top when you're done, when you're serving it up. Also, you will need a hand blender or a blender that you can put hot soup in to puree it. If you want to leave it large and chunky, absolutely go right ahead, but I like to blend mine up. So the first thing we're going to do is turn on the stove to medium. You can see I have some water. I choose not to saute mine up like my onions and garlic and vegetables in oil. I choose just to do it in water. If you want oil, go ahead. Simple, easy change up. And I'm just going to put it on medium heat, and I'm going to dice up nice and small the onions, garlic, celery, and the carrots. And we're going to add the celery to the pot. Right, so these vegetables have been sauteing, and I've prepared all the garlic, the whole clove, or the whole garlic. Anyways, the cloves are prepared, and now I am going to press them in. And then when we get to the last one, I just take my spoon and scrape it off to get it all in. All right, so while that's cooking up, we are now going to focus on the potatoes and the broccoli. Now, I gave them a good scrub, the potatoes. I choose to leave the skin on because of all the nutrients in the skin. You can do what you want if you don't want it on, but if you do keep it on, make sure you dice your potatoes. I guess you can't see because I'm left-handed. I'll try to change it. Dice them really nice and thin. No, Trixie, no food. We're about to have supper. Just so that you don't get big pieces of potato skin in your soup. I find that the skin blends up really well when you dice it really thinly. Then blends up with everything else, and you wouldn't even know it's in there. So this is how small I cut the potatoes. Really thin. And then with the broccoli, you're going to dice it up. Take as much of, I don't know what this is called, maybe the stalk. Take off as much of that as you can, and so that it's just primarily the top part. Before we add in the broccoli and potatoes, we are going to sprinkle in our flour and just have it combined well with the vegetables. If you need to add some more oil or water, oops, sorry, before you do that, if it's gone too dry, then do, but otherwise we're just going to mix it up and it's going to become a paste. And a little bit of our chicken broth. Okay, give it a stir again just to help incorporate more of the flour and the vegetables. Now we're going to dump in the rest of that one container. Before our pot gets too full of liquids, we're going to add in our potatoes and our broccoli. All right, that's good enough. I'm going to give it a bit of a stir and then add in the other container of chicken broth. All right, here we go. Let's add it in.
All of it?
Yeah, we're going to add all of it in. Oops. We are also going to add in our 1 cup of milk, and I just used 2%.
Can I pour it?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, next time I'll let you.
Okay. Wait, did this just dissolve?
It mixes in. It gets combined. All right. Now that it's all combined, we are going to bring our temperature up to max.
Wow, that's hot.
Max heat. And do you see how my pot isn't, let me bring it here, fully, full with fluid? What I'm gonna do is just rinse out the cartons with some water and pour it in just to get the rest of the stock out, and also with the milk, just to bring it up a bit higher. Okay, so while I'm waiting for this soup to boil, you can see I have another pot going on for the chicken noodle soup for the 2 children that I have that will not eat this. And I'm also gonna get ready the buns. So I picked up these buns from Costco. We love these ones. Cheese scones are another great side to go with this soup because it's loaded with vegetables. You can have a salad with it. I just find that it's so heavy with veggies that I don't do that. I always pair it with some buns, scones, or some type of cheese biscuits. Okay, once it starts to boil, like it is now, I'm just going to turn the heat back down to a high medium because we want it to simmer. What we are looking for is for all the broccoli and the potatoes and even the carrots, because they are quite a hard veggie. We're looking for them just to boil and cook to get nice and soft and tender, so that when we blend it up, it'll be easy. They will just disintegrate and puree. It's been about 10 minutes, and how I check this is I take a big chunk of broccoli and I will just bring it to the side of the pot, and if I can cut through it easily with the spoon, then I know that it is nice and tender. Okay, so because I know it's ready to go, I'm going to get out my hand blender and very carefully blend this up. All right, you can see it's all blended up. Doesn't have to be perfect. It can be to whatever you like it to be. I like mine to be mostly blended. And now what you're going to do is add salt, pepper, garlic, salt, whatever you want to your specific taste buds. For me, I add a lot of pepper and then often a sprinkle of salt or garlic salt. have to try to get above the steam. This is also the time to add in your cheese. Again, I used aged cheddar, and about a cup of it goes actually in it. The rest will be saved just to help garnish the soup. After the cheese is thoroughly combined, give it another taste and just see if it's to your liking or if you want to make any, additions with some spices. All right, mine is ready and I am going to dish it up. All right, there it is. Mine is all done. I always add a little bit more pepper to the top and put some cheese on top just to make it look nice. Hope you enjoy.